Well, let me try putting the phone right here in my car this morning. In the past, I've had problems with the cell phone vibrating against the dashboard, so we'll see how the video turns out. Also, because I drive an electric car, I think that the electromagnetic field from the electric car interferes with the recording at times and causes a little static, so hopefully that doesn't occur too much. But today I wanted to talk about again, I wanted to talk about empathy and emotions and autism and the autistic mind expressing emotion. And so I think the first thing is that people generally have the idea that people with autism do not experience emotion in the same way that most of neurotypical society experiences it. And that, I believe, is a little bit of a misconception. I think that I'm of the impression, and I believe that we all experience emotion in the same way, and that inwardly we're all going through the same thing. But with autism, it's about how that emotion is expressed and how it is communicated and how it is realized. So then we get into empathy and what is empathy? What is it? Is it just connecting with somebody and stating, I know what you're going through because I myself went through this, that, or the other situation? But there's something going on with eye contact, okay? Eye contact and facial cues and signals, which most of society are very adept at. Like, without thinking about it, they perform facial gymnastics, so to speak. Some people are Olympic athletes with regard to their empathetic facial cues. So this is why a lot of people are deceived by individuals who can use these facial expressions to gain favor in society, to perhaps win a presidential election, or whatever, gain favor in a community, gain favor as a leader, at work. The thing is about the autistic, an individual who has autism, they don't really pay attention to all of the subtle facial cues. So in many ways, the autistic individual is less prone to deception regarding empathy, and so I think that's why we see a wide divide of individuals who get caught up in the emotionalism and the excitement of presidential election, and but the autistic individual many times is, I'm not saying that we don't take into consideration the way somebody holds themselves, because that's a totally different matter, because I think the autistic individual does sort of look at the entire body frame, not as much at the face, you know. And you know, they say that the eyes are the window to the soul. Well, I don't know how that is the case with most people that live with autism, because we're more concerned about consistency and the way an individual presents himself in front of us. Do they carry themselves confidently? Do they generally have a demeanor which is sad or happy, or, you know, we're looking at generalities and building a picture in our minds of who that person is. And so empathy, when an autistic individual is trying to empathize with somebody else, I think generally it is very conscious effort. It's not something that, I would say the majority of the time it's very conscious act, you know. It's not something that comes second nature at times. But then again, you know, I'm painting a general picture of most people on the autistic spectrum. And then we're getting into that question again of what is autism? And maybe I should start to talk about that some more again. But I should have started this video a little sooner today because I'm already at work. But anyway, let me just pull in here. So basically, emotions and empathy, we're not easily swayed by emotions at times. We want to see who that person is. We want to know who that person is. And we need to rebuild in our mind's eye who that person is. Not just their vocal quality. I think, I do listen to the pitch of someone's voice, but when it is in regard to emotional content, I tend to try to ignore the emotional aspect of somebody's voice as much as I can, and focus in on what exactly are they trying to say. What exactly are they trying to elicit from me? At any rate, I'm going to leave it at that today. God bless everyone. Keep seeking truth.